Hello everyone, this is Vaidi here with Shiva. Shiva is the founder of 6 a.m. Yoga, and this is part of the Practice Now interview series that we are doing with online yoga teachers. And in this series, our goal is to discover the learnings that our teachers have found through trial and error and through their own experiments, and share them with the rest of the community, and uh, get to know a little bit more about how teachers today are not just coping but also growing with respect to online teaching. So with that said, I will turn over to Shiva. So Shiva, can you introduce yourself and let us know a little bit more about 6 a.m. yoga and what styles of yoga you teach?
Yeah, Namaste everyone.
Namaste.
So, my name is Shiva Kumar. So, I am the proprietor of 6 a.m. Yoga, uh, which started almost, you can say, around 6 to 7 years back as a studio in Bangalore, India. And then we gradually had few branches across few other locations in the place, in the same city, Bangalore. And then slowly we started going into other sections like even corporate teaching and communities, different places. So gradually, over the period of about 5 to 7 years, we have branched into different areas, different places, and we increased our teachers, number of teachers, and expanded in various different places. So we have been going through a lot of changes and improvements in the way we teach, the way we get people into the studios, into online classes. A lot of changes have kept on bringing up our level of teaching, the quality of teaching. And today we have got approximately about 200 members in the classes, including members from India and various other countries. Because of the current situations, we have been doing a lot of online classes, and fortunately, with that, the limitations of boundaries, the distances have become very less, and we are able to propagate the knowledge of yoga to various countries. A lot of people are getting benefit of this. We also learned a lot of new opportunities when the situations changed. We tried to we initially thought this could be a big challenge, when the scenario changed due to the COVID. But and then with the help of many partners like PracticeNow, we improved our own skills and devised more technology in our own teaching, and that has benefited us and definitely also benefited the people across the world who are mostly limited to their own house, their own apartments, and in the comfort of their own places, they're today able to practice yoga and get the benefits of that, improve our own life, the health, immunity, which is all helping us to fight this situation, to come out of this tough situation. So we have been enjoying the way we progressed for many years, and and that step by step improvement of our knowledge, the application of the knowledge, is what is actually making a lot of interest in our mind. So, to brief, I have been coming from a corporate background, and then about 15-20 years I have been in the corporate life in different companies, and then slowly branched out and stepped out and came into the world of teaching yoga. And I thoroughly enjoy this profession. And
I know. I mean, if I'm not wrong, you take about, on an average, about 4 or 5 classes yourself every day, which I think puts you in a pretty unique situation. I'm not aware of too many founders of yoga institutions, who actually end up being not just the main teacher but also the most frequent teacher, and showing up so many times during the week, throughout the week. And it is quite apparent, just by looking at the 6 a.m. schedule, as to how much you love teaching. So
Yeah, so it's quite good that so when we start enjoying what we're doing, or when we start doing something that you enjoy, so the time passes on its own, and you don't feel that you're actually do I mean you just flow into the work,
right, right,
and
right,
you don't never feel the time passing by
right,
automatic. So when I, for example, let's say I take 2 or 3 classes, sometimes back to back, say 2 classes, it can span around say 2.5 to 3 hours, or sometimes a little longer. Now, when your mind is fully into that, you never feel how that time passed off.
right,
And once you're out, you come out. So it's like that. The time is just flying past when you're in the class.
right, right, right.
So
um,
that shows that the mind is fully involved into that, and that's exactly what meditation is about. Now, there was an example I'll tell you. Like one of our Swamiji, he said, "What is meditation all about?" So I like that example. So I would like you to hear that. So it talks about a small child starts he or she, she sees the ice cream in the shop. So she tells the mother, "Mummy, I want that ice cream." Now the mommy buys and give the ice cream in her hand. Now she takes the ice cream, and then slowly she brings it to her mouth, and then starts the tongue touches the ice cream. And that moment it touches, the taste it goes into her mind, into the brain, and then that moment she dissolves. She cannot think anything else other than that taste and that ice cream. Now that moment is actually a zero for her. I mean, there is nothing else in the world other than that taste and that ice cream.
right,
Now Swamiji says that moment of that taste and that mind, that is called meditation. When you completely involve into that and forget about everything else,
right.
and that's exactly what meditation is about,
Mm-hmm.
where there is absolutely nothing else other than that event, the present moment, nothing else other than that.
And if you can expand that for more and
Yeah,
more time throughout the day, then that's growth.
you got it right, Vaidhi. I mean, that's what I think, you got the real pulse of it. And Swamiji says, if you can expand, as you said, the same thing Swamiji said, can you expand it? And that's what is all meditation is all about.
Right, right,
The
right,
more you involve into what you're doing, you're all meditating. See, those people who are hearing to me now, if you're completely involved into what I'm talking, you're
right,
also meditation.
right,
Really.
right, 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 right. Um, Great. Thank you, for walking us through giving us a quick glimpse of your journey so far. So I had a few, questions with respect to what you shared.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit more about the services that you're offering? So I am aware that you're offering not just group classes but uh, person classes, and you're also offering teachers training. And can you just elaborate a little bit more on how your services have grown, and what you more specifically also what you're offering online today?
See, we are into what the yoga offers the world. So there are various styles of yoga. So every person looks forward to different styles, and you cannot offer the same style to everyone. It's like giving the same cap for everyone. The same cap does not fit everyone, right? So for example, you have a children class, okay, for example. So a traditional Hatha Yoga class, which is meant for adults, you cannot put children into that class. And same way, an adult cannot fit into a children class, because that's the way they behave in a class. The need of their body, their mind is different. It's a kid of say 10 years, 12 years, what they need is different. Their need is different compared to a person say on the age of say 65, 70 years. Now, that person needs a different style of yoga. So you cannot put a yoga class of these two people together. Very tough. If at all you put them, you'll have to tune it in such a way that both are benefited and both are not harmed. So the first thing that we did was that we splitted our class into different classes, like a traditional Hatha Yoga, which is like a beginner class. We have a beginner class. Then we have an intermediate level yoga. which is like, some people who have been practicing for quite a little time, maybe 3 months, 6 months, and they want a little more level. Then you have a different class which is called the advanced class. So those who have been practicing for a few years, and they're looking forward to more advanced asanas. And then we have got a class which is a dynamic form of yoga, dynamic Hatha Yoga, where it focuses more on like weight loss, more sweating, all that comes in that class.
Vinyasa is
Yeah, no, that's a little dynamic form. Now there is another class which is a power yoga. Power yoga, I'll tell you the differences. Another class, and there is another class which you spoke is Ashtanga Vinyasa class. So Vinyasa class is
okay.
yeah, which is exactly like taught in Patabi Joyce Institute in Mysore, and which is famous across the globe. We have so many. I mean, most of the Westerners, a lot of Westerners, they have dived into this Ashtanga Vinyasa, which is a rigorous style, and it's a continuous flow. So there is that class is available. Then you have got senior citizen. There is a class. Then you have got therapy class. So what we found out is that we have to fit a member into the right position, right class. Because a beginner or a person who wants to practice yoga, he or she might not have the idea what he may say, okay, this is what I am looking for, this is what I want to do. Now, taking that input from that person, you have to churn in your mind. Okay, I mean, understanding his first thing is to understand what he wants. He may have a problem on the back, or he may have a problem of, say, little stress related problems or anxiety, something like that. The person may have a neck problem, or maybe something related to acidity, or things like that. These days there are some softwares available in the market which determines the prakriti of a person. Like, are you a person having dominant pitta or kapha, the phlegm in the body? Are you a person, different kinds of prakritis are there. So depending on that, the person's prakriti and the medical conditions of a person, we have to identify which class that person has to go through. Otherwise, it will be the right person in the wrong place,
Right.
or the wrong place that way. So we have to and guide him. Okay, now first 2 or 3 months you be in the beginners class. Okay, and then gradually bring him in, the person into the intermediate class. So we have to first have these different branches in in our center. Okay, this is one class, another class, third class, power yoga, intermediate level, advanced class, kids yoga, senior citizen. This gamut of the classes should be made available. That's what we did first. And then, so this is on the then we also branched out to corporate yoga, where now corporate, it's a mix of all the people. So we have to we cannot branch that class into different sections, because it's a group of, say, 100 people. Every person has got different conditions, maybe old, maybe young. So we need to have something like a panacea for them. We should have a class which is fitting for all the people, like
You cannot do the kind of fitting that you are doing for people who are your who are part of the regular yoga class. You cannot do that same kind of
no,
thing for the corporate customers. They
that's
expect they want to be able to practice together along with their colleagues. So it has to be something that has. So you have to do, like you said, the panacea.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so we devised something like that. So that, the groundwork is very important. See, for example, that's the homework that we need to do.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
I agree that we all know. I also did permutation combination, slowly, gradually evolving. So that is what we should enjoy.
Right.
There will be mistakes. I have made hundreds of mistakes,
Right.
but the only thing is that once I make it, I try to learn a little from that and improvise a little to keep
And make new mistakes.
new mistakes. Yeah, that's right,
Right.
idea. To make new mistakes and then find out the way to come out of it.
Right.
So for that corporate, we devise something which is a neutral. It'll have things like, say, vrikshasana. Okay, a little milder forms, good loosening practices. So beginners, they need a lot of loosening practices.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
And
Hmm.
generally people, they like little all the loosening you should do, and mild asanas, like standing simple asanas, sitting mild forward bending, so which does not cause a problem even if you have a back problem, back pain.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
Does not create an issue even if you have a neck problem,
Right. 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 Right.
or so things like that. You cannot put things like sarvangasana,
Right.
chakra. headstands and all for that.
Right,
So
right,
we
right,
need
right.
something like which it's like plain water.
Right, 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 right.
Everybody can that kind of. So that's what we corporate we do. And then for children, we should have a little more interesting module, which will have little of nice like a tortoise posture, or you can say tree posture. You have to talk to them like that. No, the way see it may be the same wine, but you have to give it in a different bottle.
Mm-hmm.
It's all the way how you put it. You have seen a lot of movies. Now, I have seen at least 100 of love stories. A lot of movies are there. Now, you pick up one love story, how it became a success is the way it is told.
Correct, correct, correct.
The way you put it in front of the people, that's where the whole story changes. I'm telling you. It may be the same thing but the way you put it to them,
The communication
mm,
method is different.
very well said, Vaidi. I mean, that's what we should learn, as a teacher. I'll come to the some other elements of a teacher which I have learned, I may be right or wrong, but I've been observing many other teachers, many videos. I've taken inputs from BK Iyengar, Pattabhi, how they speak, how they teach, and from there I picked up a lot of principles and tried to put it into myself and try it out, and how it works. Is it really working? It's not that I just picked up implemented. No, I tried to improvise it into my techniques and then blend them and try to get good effects from that, good benefits from that.
Understood, understood. Um, and can you also talk about you also do personal classes and teachers training? Is that correct? Can you talk a little bit
Yeah,
about
we
that?
do. Yes, we do. Apart from this corporate and all the other traditional classes that we do personal sessions. Now, see, many, as I said in the just a while back, is that the same solution may not work for everyone. Now, there are a lot of individual people who want individual attention. Now, see, there are benefits for both. I'll tell you. An individual class, you get full liberty to go at your own speed and customize the whole class to one individual person, or maybe one or two people at home also that you can, or just a person itself. Now, that's the benefit of an individual class. When you do a group class, the benefit is the group energy that flows.
Mm.
Now, when you do, for example, when you go in a group, you get that continuous energy into yourself. When somebody else is practicing with you, when you hear to the other person, even if it's an online class, you keep on listening to comments on the other person, how that person is improving, how you are improving. So that
Mm.
group energy gives you the momentum and the discipline to go forward.
Mm.
That is the benefit of a group class.
Mm.
Whereas now, when it's an individual class, the benefit is that a lot of customization is possible. So both are having plus and minus. So
Right,
nothing good, nothing wrong. It's
right.
all it's good. So we
Yes,
do
yes.
personal classes, especially when there are specific ailments. Generally, when for example, a person has got rhinitis or sinusitis. I have particular. I have got a DNS, deviated nasal septum. Now I do Jalaneti every day. Now, so Jalaneti is required for a person having a sinus problem or a rhinitis problem, whereas it may not be very important for a person who does not have it. So I need to practice this every day.
Are you teaching techniques like Jalaneti as well online?
Jalaneti online. I have taken classes for Jalaneti in sitting in this room. I thought, no, I need see how I improvised. In my mind, I thought that for Jalaneti you need a big place, a garden where you can pour the water.
Exactly.
When this scenario came, I discovered that a small bucket is enough to do that. So
And you can teach that online.
yes, online. Believe me, looking at the video of this no practice now, which I recorded in this one, that video went to some of my members' mother. Mother practiced that, looking at that video, Jalaneti video, and the member replied me, "Sir, my mother is now practicing Jalaneti," which I never expected.
Right,
So
right,
that
right.
video, which was uploaded on the YouTube, that benefited many other people
Very
who were
nice.
not in the class.
Very nice. Very
These are
nice.
the
Very nice.
successes that I believe. No, these are the this is our success.
Correct. Correct.
What we do, if it's spreading to many people and if it's benefiting,
Correct.
that is what we should be looking for.
That's the value that you actually end up being able to create, right? It's I mean, uh, and teachers training. Can you talk about that as well?
The other is the teacher training. So we are affiliated to Vyasa, Vivekananda Yoga Anusandhan, our institute. So through them, we offer this teacher training courses to students. These days now, the courses have started online also. And as per the university, we are supposed to take one class in a week in the studio. And all the other days, the online teacher training will continue. So we have been doing that. I think we have completed three batches already, and the fourth batch is starting now. So
You,
teacher training, yeah.
you've completed 3 teachers training batches in the last what 6 months?
No. So this class is for about 4 months each batch. So it has taken almost a year and a half to complete
Okay.
this.
So you started your teachers training last year, is it?
Yes,
Okay. Okay.
2019 we started. I think so somewhere in the end of 2018. 2018
And
we started. And then we
okay.
completed first 4 months. Took a 1 month gap so that there are no exams are all done. And then we get the next 4 months batch. Like that, we completed three, and the fourth batch is just starting now. So you see, teacher training. See, I'll tell you, it's like I'll just compare. See, I believe that no, when I tell some stories or some examples, that comes in and stays in our mind.
Absolutely.
So I'll compare a teacher training to a doctor's degree. Now, some of my cousins, they're all doctors. Now, just an MBBS degree or a BDS, whatever degree, is not enough, right? So you are a doctor, but how you the knowledge, how much of knowledge you actually put, the experience that you gain in actual teaching to students in the studio, online classes. When you build that, then you become a doctor, right? That experience. So in our center, we put you into the classes. So literally, you have to teach students. You have to correct them when the main teacher is teaching. They have to stay in the class for some time, correct them, observe the online classes, and correct them. How they observe their breath. All these experiences make you as a teacher. So a mere teacher training it may not be enough. Like once you get the certificate, you have to. There are a lot of doctors who are not practicing. They're not able to actually practice. Similarly, there are a lot of yoga teachers in the world who are not able to teach, or they are not teaching. So all this, so you have to get that teaching experience, and that is what we give in our studio.
So these are so the engagement that you're talking about between the teachers training, the student who is enrolled for teachers training with the live classes that you're conducting. Does that happen during the teachers training program itself, or does it happen afterwards, or both?
What we do is, so the actual teacher the classes will happen on 2 days, like Saturday, Sunday, if it's a weekend batch. And Monday to Friday, every day, the student who is applicant of the teacher training program has to attend a class first. Every other day, Monday to Friday, he will attend any class. He'll join morning class, any class. There are 4 or 5 classes in a day. So they attend that class. So that is compulsory. During those 5 days, 1 or 2 classes, they will be actually observing, supporting the teacher, and actual teaching also wherever there is possibility. So like that, all the other 5 days, we put them into live classes and live teaching, attending different classes.
Interesting.
So implement what you learned in the class on the other 5 days.
On the Saturday, Sunday, what they learn, they can apply it. So this is that mixture of theory and practice that you're bringing in together.
And apart from this, what we added was Manayalli Yoga that we added. So what we said was, apart from this, in your community, wherever that person is living, you have to select 3 houses towards the fag end of the course, I'm telling you,
The teachers
right?
training course.
Yeah, training courses. And we ask them to literally go to them, canvas their skills, and then teach them. You have to get 3 different houses. You have to teach them, and then practice that for a week or 2, and then make videos of that and submit along with the teacher training.
That's part of the assignment and used for final evaluation. It's very nice, very nice, very nice.
So actually, they find it, when you do on your own without anybody, you feel delighted. You feel, yes, I achieved that. I taught to some people in my apartment, my community. So it gives a lot of satisfaction to them, and they found it very, very interesting. So that part of the training program.
Perfect. So all of these are being offered right now online, right?
Yeah.
Group, personal, corporate, and even teachers training, right? Now, can you walk us through one of your online sessions. I know that you have a fairly unique way of teaching online.
Yeah.
And if you can talk a little bit about how you actually teach online, and also tell us, like, how do you balance verbal instructions with demonstration. Just talk us a little bit through the logistics of that. That'll be useful.
First, you need good hardware for the class. So you need a good computer which has got fairly good configurations, like the RAM and all. You need proper ports like an HDMI. You need you need all those ports. Okay, that computer is required, and keep a backup with you. For example, a computer which does which can, like an old one is also fine. In case something goes off, you must be able to pick up the other PC.
Quickly,
So
what is the model of your
it's
computer?
HP one. HP. It has got this one SSD, a solid state drive, and it's got an 8 GB RAM. Mine is an HP laptop. Any brand is fine. So
8 GB RAM, and you have a solid state drive, which basically must make it blazing fast,
yeah,
right?
yeah, it boots up quickly. And
Right.
I do a little editing on this.
Video
So
editing.
even videos. So it's good to have a laptop which has got about 16 GB RAM if you are looking for editing. And also it should have a graphic card, which is at least like 1650 NVIDIA, or no, all these are fine. NVIDIA is good. And then even the 6 crore processor, if you have, it's better. And these days AMD Ryzen is also better than NVIDIA. So which has got good configuration, have a proper laptop which has got at least maybe SSD of 256 GB and maybe 1 TB hard disk drive, and you have backup like other where you can export the and keep the computer empty memory. So you need a good laptop, okay, and a backup laptop in case this something goes wrong, so that you don't miss classes. And what you should do is you should have another monitor with that, because I'll come to you. I'll tell you why it's required. You need another, like a small monitor, like a just a monitor. I'm not talking that you need another computer. Just another monitor where you can play the PowerPoint slides. Okay. Then you need a proper Wi-Fi connection. So always either you have to sit close to the router, and there should not be any wall between your room, not much of closed kind of scenario, because intermittently the speed will vary, and the audio may not be clear if you have a wall in between the router and your laptop. So what I do is I sit in a different room, but I took a wire, a direct Ethernet cable, and put it into my laptop. So in my
Oh, you're
case,
not even on Wi-Fi.
no, I don't use Wi-Fi because the Wi-Fi router is there. I don't have a feasibility of shifting it here as of now, because the house is like that. So I put a cable through the outside, and directly Ethernet cable I put. So yes, it disrupts sometime, but it's very minimal. Okay, and even the Wi-Fi is, if it's good, it's fine. You don't need a cable and all. Okay, so a good Wi-Fi connection, at least uh, that 16 Mbps minimum, 16
Right.
Mbps speed should be required. If
Right.
you
Right.
have got a fiber optic, yes, you can go to 100 Mbps, 150, 350, 300 and all. But minimum 16 to 24 Mbps is required.
Is that sufficient?
Yeah, that's sufficient for a video call. And then
Do,
yeah, so
do you
this
have do
is
you also have the router UPS?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. In my case, the whole house is supported with a UPS. So separately, I don't put a. So, but when I go to some other places, I carry that small router UPS. When I went to Kerala and all, so I used it because a lot of power, I mean, failure may happen. So
Right.
that small router UPS just cost, I think, 2,500 or something.
Yes.
But it stays for, I think, 3 hours now, 2 to 3 hours. It
Right.
stays. So that you can have. And then yes, other is your audio. So you should have a proper either you can use the direct computer mic, which is sufficient, which is enough, and if possible you can have a USB mic, like which is either like what I have clipped on the this one now. This is Rode mic, which is quite good. I mean, it's very it absorbs the sound, the nearby sound. It doesn't take the ambient sound too far away. So mic which captures the nearby sound like a computer mic.
Is that a wireless mic that you're wearing?
No,
That's
no, this is a wired one. I have another wireless also. So in case when I do demonstrations a little far away, I use that mic, which even a good Bluetooth mic is also fine. But whenever you invest on these things, go for a good brand.
It,
Trusted
it
brand.
pays off over time.
Yes, definitely. It pays off, and the quality of the sound, the quality of your experience, the student gets will all be superior.
Correct.
So we need to invest on all these in the beginning.
Right.
Get good quality products,
Right.
which which is branded and which is reliable products.
Right.
Then you can have a the computer system mic. Speaker itself is enough, and that's all. You need a connection between your monitor and the laptop. So this is what I use as a setup, and I don't move it. I keep it in one place, always teach from there. So generally when I go to studio, I have another setup there. So I have another laptop there, another setup. So I don't keep removing this, putting there, taking that, so it'll all disturb the whole setup.
Hmm.
You
Hmm.
can also
Hmm.
wear off your HDMI ports. All these things can happen,
The
and if it's
constant unplugging, plugging is,
yeah,
is
yeah.
is better avoided.
Yeah. So, but in case you don't have a second setup, nothing to worry. Use this and take it there. Don't worry. So, bare minimum things, you just need one laptop. That's enough. And if you with that itself, you can start your classes.
But
All the
whatever devices the teacher is investing in, let them go in for the best that they can afford, right?
yes,
Because it's not about buying too many things in one go, but whatever you're buying, you invest the best that you can, right?
that's right. That's right. Use the good ones. Now, for example, I'm using a Sony camera, which the display of will be better. I did not use the camera which is 720p, this HP. So this is a
Mm.
Sony Alpha camera, which has got 1080, that kind of resolution. So I just plugged it through a cam link into the computer, and then now this camera is running for you.
So this is connected by USB
Yeah,
to your laptop.
yeah, yeah.
Okay,
To the
fantastic.
I
Okay,
use
great.
the Sony camera. Now I can. So this is the same camera which I use for shooting videos also.
Got it.
And
Got
I
it.
edit
Got it.
it in. So this computer I use for editing through Adobe, this one Premiere Pro, which is one of the best programs. Even a lot of other like DaVinci and all are there, but I find Adobe Premiere Pro is quite good too for editing videos.
Got it.
So yeah, I do that. So this is the hardware I talked about. Now talking about uh, the classes. Now see, one basic principle that I want to tell you is that this is what I've learned from many teachers across the world. Uh, Never mix your practice with teaching. Your individual practice is different, and when you teach, that is different. So your teaching is only teaching, and your doing is different from that. Don't practice along with the class. This is some of you may find it surprising. How is that possible? You may get surprised, but I have found this with my experience and with my observations and churning those observations.
So there are teachers. So what you're trying to say is that there are teachers who actually try to blend their own practice along with the teaching because they don't get time
Yes,
to teach outside of the class.
yes, this is happening.
Okay.
So they do their practice along with the class. Now, this is a compromise. I'll tell you why, and correct me if I'm wrong. See, when you teach, you have to observe what the student is doing. Okay. Now, if you do at that time and then teach, one thing is that you cannot observe what the person is doing, the student is doing, and you cannot do also. You will do one Surya Namaskar. I will tell you. Generally, what they do is they will show Ekam, inhale, Dvi, exhale. One or two steps they will do, and then they will go into the class and check what they are doing. Now, by that time, some of the student may not be able to do what is Chatwari. Then the teacher will come back again and do Chatwari next step. Now, in
So
that
both
process,
so both the teachers practice as well as the students practice are both compromised, and it's actually
yeah,
so keeping them separate is, I think, like
yes,
you said.
you have to keep it separate. See, I'll tell you, your practice is your practice.
So does this mean, Shiva, that the demonstrations are fewer in that you rely more on verbal instructions while you're teaching and less on
Yes.
demonstrations?
So what I do, I'll tell you. One day of a week, I keep it on Saturdays. One day of a week, it's about 2 hours. I do it from 4 o'clock to almost 6 o'clock. That is the day when I demonstrate. And that time I will not teach. I'll ask all the people to attend that class and show them exactly what is it, how to do everything, every breath, every step, everything is explained in that class. And I expect all the students to attend that class. Many of them don't attend, that's a different story. Ah. And then, so that's where they observe me. When I teach, they don't observe me. I observe them. Now I'll tell you. See, have you seen Patabi Joyce? He's one
No,
of the most,
yes,
yeah, you know him, right, Hadi?
I know of him. Yes.
Now he equates this with a story. He equates, now again, that story I'm trying to connect. Now there is one coconut tree, and the teacher is teaching the student how to climb that coconut tree. So the teacher, he's a very old person, okay, so he cannot climb also, but he knows every step, every trick of that climbing. He knows everything. So he will tell, okay, now you have to put the rope on the leg, okay, and then he will tell, okay, this is how you to hold it. Maximum, he'll show one step how to catch the tree or something. He'll show. Now there is only one tree; both cannot climb at the same time. Okay, climbing is done by the student. So student will catch. Now he will correct him how to catch it, how to hug the tree, how to keep the leg, the feet inward. Everything he will teach him. Now the student takes the first step, then he'll ask him to take the next step. Now the student climbs the tree. The teacher's job is not to climb. Teacher's job is to enable the student to climb.
Be a catalyst. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
and teach him and ensure that he doesn't get injured. He doesn't fall. He doesn't take the wrong bus thinking that he'll reach the right place.
Right.
Now some people sitting on the wrong bus thinking हाँ मैं वहाँ पहुंच जाएगा, लेकिन वहाँ नहीं पहुंचेगा, आप गलत बस पे बैठे. So the teacher's job, because many times after reaching the destination, the people find, hurry, how I reach this place? I was planning to reach the other place. I'm telling you, see, one small trick changes the whole game.
Absolutely. I'm getting reminded of this example, in this book called Atomic Habits, where he talks about a ship, sailing from, sailing across the ocean, and the just a 1 degree difference, in the at the start, right, actually ends up, with the ship reaching a completely different, place, many, perhaps hundreds or even thousands of miles away, from where they, were originally planning to be. So I guess the role of the teacher is to make sure that the realignment, or making sure that as and when there are any deviations, you gently get the student back to the direction which is more accurate, right? But help the student kind of. I think I understand what it is that you're trying to say. It's growing the student is the primary goal, right?
Correct. Maybe you put it right. I mean, see, what he said was, now I learned something from him. So I look forward to these stories, no? That what I picked up from you now is that 1 degree turn, no? You
Right,
said about that 1 degree turn,
right,
when
right,
it goes far, how much that 1 degree changes to many
right,
miles.
right, 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 right.
Exactly. Now I got one more example. I learned from you today.
Sure.
This is what I like in the profession of teaching. Every day you just learn something or the other.
We do, we do, we do.
Exactly. No, it's same like, in Bangalore. You take the flyover. If you miss that flyover, gone.
That's
You
that's
have to be another 10 kilometers away, and you'll take a U-turn and then come back all the way
not
down.
not fun in Bangalore traffic at all. So the
Equating, equating this into the yoga principle now. See, if I tell people, you have to nip that mistake in the bud itself, like what he said. So a person start breathing the wrong way, learning all the difficult asanas, everything. After 25 years of practice, I find my breath is not correct. Now see, so that is the job of the teacher. How to correct it in the beginnings. Okay, those basic things cannot go wrong. Those fundamentals should be taken right. If you
I'm
get that right, yeah, you can travel long. Yeah,
I'm
you can.
reminded of another guru of mine, who used to say it's not practice that's important, it's correct practice that's important,
Yeah,
and it's a very it, not too many people actually end up emphasizing that, but I think it's the because what habits are so fast to build, that the moment you practice something the wrong way, it becomes a habit, and it's actually hard to change it after some time.
it's
And
very difficult to unlearn that. Very difficult. I'm telling you. I've seen people. very difficult to bring it back. No, they find
Exactly.
it very uncomfortable.
Correct,
It's
correct,
not
correct.
possible only
Correct,
sometimes.
correct, correct,
So
correct.
put them in the right track in the beginning.
Correct,
So
correct,
as I
correct.
said, the teacher's job is that. The teacher's job is not to exhibit our skills.
Right,
We may be good in many asanas.
right,
Yes, whatever you want to do, put it in a separate class.
right,
Like no,
right,
so that's a different story.
right,
Don't mix that your skills into the class. You may
right.
be now. If you look at, as I said, like Patabi Joyce, he was the one of the most influential yoga teachers in the globe, in the world. You cannot. There are other like B.K. Iyengar, all influential teachers. Now, if you look at Patabi Joy's class and just YouTube research, he will not do any single step in that class. The full 1.5
It's all
hours,
verbal instructions.
his mind is completely on what he talks. He observes the student very, very minutely, what step they take, what breath they take, where they look, all the three pillars, no, Trishtana of yoga.
Right,
Okay. One is the breath, one is the drishti, and one is the posture. These are the three pillars of yoga. How you breathe, where you look, and what you do. These three pillars are the things that he corrects. He will not demonstrate anything. So because the teacher's idea is to bring that student up into that level. So never, this is the first principle I learned. I don't mix doing with teaching. So teaching is done separately.
so
I
you
expect to learn in that other classes where that interactive session which I keep, where I show the things, right? All those explanations are done at that time, and you are supposed to pick up those things and implement that knowledge in the live classes. In live classes, very minimal of very minimum demonstration, very minimum interactions. It's a live class. Yeah, it's a mix of people. See, students, they are all they all want to practice. Okay, they need different students. Some people are new, some people are old, and everybody cannot be in the same level. So when you start explaining things to a newcomer, the person who has been practicing for 5 years is also in the class. Now he is out of place. Okay, so this kind of disparity will happen in the class.
right, 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 right,
You
right.
cannot have that in a live class. You have to continue that flow. So it's a difficult job to manage that class. But
Correct, correct.
the best way is to teach when you teach, do when you do.
Right,
Don't mix the practice and your teaching. This is the
right,
first
right,
principle I learned.
right, 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 right.
So in an online class, what I do is I manage the entire class with strong verbal communication. Very strong verbal communication is important. And with the help of videos and stills or the photographs. With that, the entire class is taken. Okay. Now, what I mean by strong verbal communication is that even if you speak that language to a person who does not know much of English or much of Hindi, that should strike that person. For example, I'll give you an example. Now, uh, let me check, okay? Bring your hands on the shoulders. Vaidi, bring your hands on the shoulders. Can you bring your hands on the shoulders? Yeah. Now see, he has brought his hands on the shoulder. Now if I say, give the same, okay, you can put it down now. If I say the same instruction like, fold both your hands and bring it so in such a way that your hands will touch your shoulder. Now it's a long statement. It's not required. Okay. So as a teacher, we should know those crisp words. Okay. Catch your waist. What will you do? Can you do?
Yeah, oh, you won't be able to hear me. I mean, sorry, see me.
Now he has caught his waist. Now, so I'm just giving you an example.
I
Okay.
understand. Yeah,
So these are the crisp communication you should have. Eyes closed. All these crisp communication that comes with lot of teaching experience. Use those crisp communication. Don't give lot of because that's not required. Now you need to strike the message in a
right,
simple, straightforward communication.
right.
That's how you have to take a class. It will be very crisp, straightforward. Even a person who does not know much of that language should be able to understand that.
So
Okay.
Shiva, I have a question here. So your verbal communication, from what I'm gathering, so some of the teachers that I've spoken to, they have also emphasized verbal communication as a very important skill to have in the online, with respect to online teaching. But from what I'm gathering from you, what the Patabi Joy's lineage and perhaps some of the other famous, very popular teachers have all been emphasizing this even in the pre-online era. And
Yeah.
it is if teachers have traditionally been and been focused on verbal communication even pre-COVID, then it's a natural transition to online teaching, is what I'm gathering from what you're sharing.
Perfect, perfect. So they have shown us the way. So, no, if you ask him, he does not know much of English. Patabi Jois does
Yes,
not, but
yes.
he knows how to get the job done.
He,
Simple language he has picked up,
he would
and
probably be a very good online teacher as well,
yeah,
with,
yeah,
with
yeah.
with almost no. I mean, if he was if he was alive today, he would have been a great online teacher without no additional skills being needed, right?
So, for example, I'll tell you, like, no, if when you do that Surya Namaskara steps, okay, uh, inhale, take both the arms over your head and bring them to the center of the heart. Okay, so these are the terms which I use. So generally, when you inhale, bring both the arms over your head, so they will raise the over your head, and exhale, bring them to the heart center. Now, if I tell like Namaste and all, a foreign person will not know that.
Right,
Okay, say
right.
Namaskara Mudra when I say. So I've seen that. I've taken some classes to this Manila and I mean other countries. Now I realized this Namaste will not work. Then I said bring them to the heart center. Okay,
Right, right,
so
right, right.
that now even that can be understood even by an Indian also. And then D, inhale, raise your arms and stretch it backwards. So I inhale, raise your arms and stretch it backwards. Then
Right,
exhale, bend forward. Okay, so these things I slowly evolved these terminologies.
right,
Okay,
right, right,
Chaturari,
right,
inhale, head up, look at your eyebrow. Okay, I'm just giving an example.
right, right, right.
And then in Indian terms, as I started saying, instead of looking at the eyebrow, look at your bindi. So when I started saying bindi, bindi to yahan rehta hai. So bindi, they look at the bindi. Some
Right,
people don't know where the eyebrow is. So I
right,
say, inhale, head up, look at your bindi. Okay.
right, 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 right.
So now then looking at the navel. So drishti, all these things slowly evolve in our mind. The right terms to be used in a class, these are very important. The verbal communication.
And this is uh, uh, something that. So, did you have to make any changes, with respect to the way you teach offline versus online? From what I'm gathering, the changes were not very significant, other than the presentations that you've been using. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Most of your teaching styles have remained constant pre and post COVID.
Yeah, the styles have remained constant, but the communication has improved. Earlier, see, you had the benefit of people practicing around you.
Hmm.
And the student had that advantage, and seeing the teacher in front of you. So because some small things that like when you do namaste, you'll do like that. See, natural tendency. In our teacher training, in our exam, I'll tell you, you are asked to hold your hands at the back in the examination, and in, through the instructions, verbal instructions, the student, you have to make the student that do that asana or the
Hmm.
posture.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So it's
Hmm.
very tough, I'm telling you. So
Right,
like
right,
when you say it's just like no closing the eyes and teaching that way.
right,
No, that's
right,
an exam. No, I have to use the right terms. If I use the
right.
wrong term, you'll finally end up in some other posture.
This is probably even more important for teachers graduating today, than maybe a year. So perhaps even teachers training programs are now evolving to a point where verbal instructions are given a lot more importance, right?
Yeah,
Because
this is
without
actually important not only for online classes, for offline also.
also, yes, that
So
that
it's
I
very
that I understood. Yes, yes,
so that benefit in the offline class of people around you, that is not there in an online class.
yes, yes,
So the
yes,
importance
yes.
of communication and your own the choice of words, all these things having more importance in an online class. That is definitely the change.
Can you share one of those presentations that
Yeah. Yeah. So, I was coming from that point of view that keep your teaching separate, keep your doing separate.
yes,
When you teach, you have to drive the class with those images and videos and instructions and timings, timers, sounds, all those tricks you have to use, so that the student is completely in the class. No, when I have say
yes,
20 students, one person making an aberration, I'll pick him up. I will say, Shivat, you did not attend last Saturday's class and you're going off the way. You don't know the steps. Correct. No, see, teacher has to be very strict.
And this is as effective in a Zoom class as you would, as effective as you might be in an offline class. Are you?
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
very effective.
Um, Before we move to the presentation, Shiva, the skills that you spoke about, what are the challenges that you have, any specific challenges that you want to talk about with respect to online teaching that you have where you had to modify your teaching style, to suit the online medium? Any things that you would like to share?
When you are in an active live class in a studio, you can actually see the person completely, right? The entire person is visible. His steps, alignments, breathing is audible. You can actually hear the person's breath. Now, in an online class, the limitations are that the way the student keeps the camera, his visibility might be limited. The network issues are there, okay, because the Wi-Fi or the connection may not be strong. You'll have breaks in the class, so these possibilities are there, and you cannot actually see the full alignment of a person because you can see only one view of the person. You cannot see the other view. For example, when you are doing say a warrior pose, the person may be facing yourself. So whether his right knee is at 90-degree angle, you cannot see that. You can see that only from a side view. You cannot see from the front view, and you cannot keep changing the directions or the orientations of the person.
Correct.
So the way the person is placed, you cannot hear his breath, the person's breath.
So how do you overcome these challenges?
So, so one thing is that we teach them how to keep the camera first, where to keep. Okay, when you do Surya Namaskara, you're facing in one direction. When you do lying down asana, for example, Sarvangasana, we ask them to turn the mat. When you do Sarvangasana, there is a gap. See, after sitting asanas, now you're going into the lying down asana. So that time we ask them to turn the mat so that the mat is kept parallel to the screen.
So ideally, the student should be in a room where there is sufficient space, both in both ways,
these
right?
are all frills I'm talking about. It may not be possible in all the students or all. See, there are limitations.
But if it's possible, it's good for the student. I mean, some students might have space, and in that case, they can make use of the space better. If these things are actually explained clearly to them, right? Yeah.
Because now when you lift your body in a shoulder stand, Sarvangasana, you can actually see whether the person's body is straight or L shape or whatever, all those things. But whereas if he's doing with the mat facing you, you'll not be able to see that.
Absolutely. I have space in my home, for being able to do this, and only if the teacher actually tells me that this is what you need to do. Just because we have the facility does not mean that we may actually be utilizing the facility, and it's good to kind of rely on the teacher, who can help us to kind of leverage the facilities that we have better. And if you have more space, you might as well make good use of it, right? So yeah, makes sense.
So for managing their breathing, see, breath is one of the main pillars of Hatha Yoga. So in 6 a.m. or in our class, the focus on the breath is tremendous. So it's all connected. Now, if you see, there are a lot of studies done on proper breaths. Slow, it's called LSD. Some of you may be familiar, LSD. So light, slow, deep breath is important in most of the asanas. So monitoring their breath, what we do is, we do from here, it's not only my oral communication. Apart from that, there is a little timers that we use, like when to start an inhale, when to stop an inhale, when to start an exhale. So there are bells for that in our class. So so we start inhaling. So let's say if it's an Adi Shuddhi Pranayama. So there are instructions which application based. So there is an application. There are many applications in the Android, iOS, and all. So if you use that, there are proper timers in which the breath is also numbered. We ask them to. So with that guidance, they are supposed to breathe with that count of breath. Now, as a teacher, what I observe is when they inhale, generally, the chest has to expand and the stomach has to come out, which is 3-dimensional breath. And then when they exhale, it has to contract. So we observe those body movements and check whether that movements are in sync with the timers that we play. So that's how we monitor their breath. And see, the easiest mistake to make in a yoga class is a random breath. So random breath is going to spoil the entire practice. So how to time, for example, when you're bending forward, your lungs are contracting. Okay. In Surya Namaskara, Ekam inhale, bend back, do exhale, bend forward. Now, when you exhale and bend forward, the movement and the breath has to match. Some people, what they do, by the time they reach half, their exhale is over. And then they start inhaling, then go further down. So it is actually compressing the lungs and inhaling. So these are two opposite things. The lungs cannot compress when you're inhaling. It is like planting a tree in summer. It will never grow. There is no rain only. How that plant will grow? The same way.
True, 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 true.
You're compressing the lungs and inhaling. No, these are counter breaths. So we observe. Now the next step is an inhale and taking the leg back. So we observe whether he is inhaling then. So these synchronous movements of breathing and the timing, all that we try to manage with a timer. So we put
On
that
and this is
on
for
the
online classes. You're using the bell sounds.
yeah.
This was not something that you were doing earlier. You didn't need.
We used it, but the importance of this is more in this scenario.
So some of the experiments that you tried pre-COVID have now started to really showcase
Yeah,
their benefits
yeah.
post. Okay, great, great, great.
Want I can just you do want me to go further, speak something else and then go to a live class, or
If you can just show the stills, an example of the stills that
yeah,
you
yeah. I
use, I think
do
that
the
will be
screen share
useful.
now. Now these are the pictures that we use, simple pictures, keeping the toes and heels together, hands tight on the body.
So the
And then
student can actually, oh, you have the video as well.
once he starts from here, now Samasthiti is this, okay? Everybody comes on the mat, depending on the class. Now we have chosen the picture like this. So generally the people will keep the legs together, hands tight. Now, ideally, we see this guidance of the screens is only for beginners. It is not for a person who has been attending 2 3 weeks classes.
Right.
We tell people you should not look at the screen.
Mm,
See,
mm,
in Hatha Yoga, there is no screen drishti.
mm.
There are 9 drishtis in Hatha Yoga. Okay, drishtis outside the body is like looking straight in front. That's called ekagra drishti. Okay, looking to the sky, urdhva drishti. Looking sideways, parshu drishti. Looking at the nose, nasagra drishti. Looking at the eyebrow, bhrumadhya drishti. Looking at the tip of the finger, hastagra drishti. Looking at the thumb is angushta drishti. Looking at the tip of the toe is padayavar agra drishti. Looking at the navel is Nabi Drishti, 9 Drishtis. Now, apart from these 9 Drishtis, you are not supposed to look anywhere in Hatha Yoga. Now, where is the screen looking then? There is no screen for a yoga practitioner.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, see, these are the principles we have to teach them. You are not supposed to look at the screen. Now, we allow them to look at the screen only in beginning level.
Mm.
After that, I look at them. When Ekam, inhale, okay? Do we exhale, bend forward, looking at the nose, not looking at the screen. Now, if somebody looks at the Shiva Kumar, you're looking at the screen. Don't do that.
And but you still keep this on because in every group class you'll probably have a few students who are beginners. So they would, for them, you would obviously not point them out. But the ones who are kind of graduating, for the ones.
Backup. Now, this is a backup, man. I'm telling you, this is backup. It's not it's for emergency. Beginners, yes, I'll not say this. Now, instructions, the verbal instructions are also a backup. The student is not supposed to practice with the teacher's mind. Student should know the drive, the fillip of the practices in his mind or her mind. He should know what is ekam, what is dvi, what is trini. Now, if you start, okay, when I say ekam, inhale, hands up, and then only the hand goes up, wrong. Where is the timing gone? Because so you should know in advance. There is planning required. You should plan, okay, now the left leg is going to go back. Now you cannot wait for, okay, teacher to say left leg back, then by the time your breath is already over. There is a synchronization between timing, breathing, and the step. If you are waiting for the instruction to come and then understand what is that instruction, then give the command to your body part and then take the step. By that time, the timing is already over.
Right.
So, the photographs or the movies or the videos and the instructions of the teacher are for in the beginning few weeks or months or something like that. Gradually, you have to come out of that and practice on your own. why you are attending the class is that the teacher is observing you. Many a times the teacher may not give you a comment. That means you're going good, believe me. Okay, that means the moment, see, every person, I also make mistakes. After 27 years of practice, I started in the year 1992. 28 years I've practiced. Today also I make mistakes. At the age of 95, BKS Iyengar said, oh, now I realize that the lateral strength of the body is required for Shirshasana. At the age of 95, he expired at the age of 97, I think. At the age of 95, he discovered something. Everybody makes mistakes, including me. Every day I make mistakes. After 50 years of driving, the 51st year, the driver meets with an accident.
Right. No,
So,
absolutely, absolutely.
human being. I am a human, you are also human being. Every day, see, some days the mind is disturbed. Quite natural, no? I'm also human being. You are also. So that day, sometimes your breath will go haywire. Now, that's where the teacher will pitch in. Shivkumar, I think this is, I mean, why don't you do this? Why don't you do this? So,
But don't, basically what you're suggesting is that the student should as much as possible rely on themselves,
yes,
but then use the teacher as a backup.
yes. The
And
teacher is to guide you throughout the process. You
correct.
get that, that strength of the teacher at your back. You are the
Right,
driver. You are the leader.
right.
You are the leader. It is your practice.
Right, and this
You
goes back to that whole
will-
cognitory,
ah,
the cognitory example that you gave, right? So it's, I think it's all coming together now. I'm very eager. Can you? I saw a little bit of the glimpse of the next
yeah.
slide.
So from
So
there, I ask them to start from Samasthiti. Then inhale, take the arms over your head, and exhale, bring them to center of the heart. Okay, close your eyes. I'm giving an example. Okay, now take a full inhalation, then start. Together, all of us. Sahanavavatu Sahanau bhunaktu Sahaviryam karavavahai Tejasvinavatitamastu Ma vidvishavahai. Take a full inhale. Inhale, take your hands straight up through the center. Exhale, bring your hands down by the side of your body. Now, start slow jogging at your place, gentle jogging. Use the bounce of your feet to jog slowly as per your own speed, little time. And then change to quick running on the spot. Run a little more faster than what you were doing earlier. Little more faster. Again, do a little slow jogging, gentle jogging. That's good, beautiful. And then relax. Now keep your feet a little away from each other and keep your hands on the side of your body. Bring both your arms in front of you, parallel to the ground. Fist close, rotate the wrist. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Change your direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hands on shoulder. Rotate your shoulder blades. 1. Take your elbow above the head level. 2. Ensure that your breath is synchronizing. 3. Inhale when your elbow goes up. 4. Exhale when your elbow comes down. 5. Change the direction of rotation. 1. Here I'm not changing the direction here. 2. Because they will not be looking at this as of now. 3.
Right.
2, 4, like that.
This is actually
5.
very.
Put your hands down. Straight arm rotations. Both the arms together rotate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Change the direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Bring your arms in front, parallel to the ground. Now you see the sequence of the class. Now, for a beginner, we have found that this really strikes.
Yeah.
Depend on anybody. Now you are observing the class. Were you able to understand and do based on? I mean, you are able to feel it, right?
Absolutely. This actually can be even created into a video. Like I think it's videos inside a video, but but I think this would be an amazing piece of content, for many teachers. And I so this is actually, thank you so much for actually demonstrating this, because it's very hard for even I'm aware of the fact that you've been doing that, you do use stills and presentations for your classes, but
Yeah.
when I saw, this is the first time I'm seeing it myself, and it's a very very unique style of teaching. Obviously, you put in a lot of effort,
Yeah.
to create these. So, did you create all of these presentations after COVID? Was it a
Yeah, yeah. It started somewhere in the month of February. That time only I created this.
you created
So
this whole thing?
the same thing we implemented. I mean, what do you call that? Back. I forgot the right term for that. Back engineering. I forgot it. There's a word for that.
Retroactively, is that what it's?
Right. Yeah. So I put it back in the studio also. So what I done,
Ah,
I put a display in the studio
uh-huh.
and for beginners at least, no. So
Oh,
that
very nice. Okay, so
I
you're
you see you're taking now with this you can take even 10 classes in a day
right. Yes, 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 yes. The
because
it's
your mind is fully on what the person is doing. There
and
is
the student does not feel that the teacher's tired or anything like that, and
no,
yeah, the
no,
quality of
you
your
won't be
teaching is
tired. Only problem is you'll be sitting. I mean, that's the only thing.
right, right, right,
You can
right,
take,
right.
and this is scalable. All your teachers can use this, and then replicate this model to lot. The only thing is you have to put your time to make them the individual. There are no Surya Namaskara. There are 12 rounds. You have to keep on. No, and if you make a continuous video, the problem is that you have to pause it and then restart it because there can be some interruptions between.
It's better to
You
kind
see,
of splice it up
as
into
of now, I drive it manually with this one with the PowerPoint, slide changer.
right, right. Oh,
People all
that's how you're doing it. Okay.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I use
Right.
a PowerPoint slide changer.
Got
So
it.
now
Got
I
it.
use the keyboard, but I stay a little far and use that changer. A good, I mean, like Logitech or even like HP, they've got those PowerPoint slide changers. You get in Amazon.
Got it. Got it.
Them so
Got
that you're convenient. You don't have to reach to the computer every time.
it. Got it. Yes. Yes. Yes.
So
Um,
like you have to keep changing this. Like every step is defined, right? Every
yes.
neck
Yes.
rotation,
Yes.
getting you
Yes. 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 Yes.
opening. I mean, eye rotations. No, you can see hip rotations. All the things are available.
Very nice. Very nice. This is really, really amazing, Shiva.
So you say, see, one of the principles of Hatha Yoga is brahmacharya. What is the meaning of brahmacharya? Is preserving the energy. To preserve the energy to be utilized in the right place where it is needed. You have to preserve and use it. So you cannot waste your energy like that. You're a teacher, right? You have to preserve your energy and replicate or spread your ideas and things to far more large community. If you can take only two classes or one class in a day, and you're tired by that time, you may be having lot of skills, but how many people are able to teach?
Are you are benefiting from your
So take maximum number of classes. Don't expend your energy unnecessarily. Your job is to teach. Okay, you may be good, but that initially what teachers feel, no, oh, I'm not doing it. No, I'm people are not able to observe me. That satisfaction may not come.
I actually have, so I've been recently, researching on other products out there, for yoga teachers, and there's one product that I came across, which caters to the for teachers who want to do live streaming,
Hmm.
right? And uh, from from what I'm gathering right now, you would probably not be a fan of live streaming
Hmm.
teaching. Is that correct? Like, because the role of the teacher in terms of even like, not for the student not to be injured, and to correct them in area, even for advanced, let's say, whether they are a beginner or an advanced, that you may only be interacting with them maybe a few times in each class, but those few times are very critical, for that's what I understanding. Like, you can't, if the entire thing was kind of just where they could just see you one way, it would probably not be something that you would.
That will not work. That's a learning class. That's it.
Hmm, hmm,
Cannot
hmm.
be a learning teaching different. So they may
Ah,
be able to
yes.
learn some things watching you, but how much of it? See, lot of things you have to validate how they are doing it properly. So many things are there.
So as a
That
teacher, you would not prefer, you would not.
This thing I do what is I stream the entire live class. So the corrections, everything is happening in the class, and it's a one-way communication. So they will do on their own, which you are not able to monitor. So there are a lot of video-based classes which are available. The issue is that, like, you will not be able to correct them. You will not be able to monitor what they're doing right or wrong. So many things you have to correct.
Right, right. So
Live
would
streaming is good to some extent. Yes, it can travel to some extent. Beyond that, if you want to go further, it has to be a live class, teaching class.
so as far as students are concerned, you're probably what would you recommend to them? Is that like if they are totally out of time, they cannot actually make it for the live class, then as a backup, they can perhaps use the
Yeah.
uh,
Yes, you can do that.
uh,
I do actually. I record my sessions. There are some of my customers. One is was in Australia. Is there? Another person. Two, three people are there. They are watching our recorded classes and practicing on their own. It's possible.
right,
So
right,
only
right.
thing is they join the those interactive sessions, no, which happens on Saturdays, and I tell them these are the things that you should not make a mistake. So based on that, those inputs, they think about all those inputs and they practice along with the recorded classes.
I
They are
understand.
good. See, I'm not saying it can work to about 60-70%. So it is definitely will work. And beyond that, the remaining 30 is that you have to match up with the other support mechanisms, like these classes where you tell them these are the ways to do that. Definitely, recorded sessions are good. It will work. And beyond that limit, as I said, please teach them how to use that sessions.
Got it, got it, got it, got it. A combo approach is for those teachers who are into streaming as well. It'll be great if they can complement it with live classes as well, right?
Yes.
Okay, perfect, perfect, perfect. Um, can we, maybe we can slowly taper off the interview
Yeah.
from a software standpoint. The kind of challenges that you are facing for online classes, and how I you've been a long time customer of PracticeNow. So perhaps you can tell us about how things were helping you before COVID, and how are you what changed after COVID, and how are things looking today with respect to your engagement with the software.
Why a software is required apart from direct video calls is that one is that you become a lot of professional. When you have a software to run the entire class, the image that the student carries totally changes. I'll tell you. So because it's not like sharing the link and then taking the class, and then some days it changes, some days it doesn't connect. Now, when you have a professional approach, like when you have a student login, and then the student logs in and finds the classes in front of the screen and clicks the join button and goes in directly seamlessly and goes into the class, it gives a totally different feeling to the customer, to the student. It comes in a totally different platform. The domain itself changes for them. It's not like amateur kind of approach. It's a totally professional approach. When that comes, it becomes seamless to the user. He feels nice, and the UI, the user interface itself is flawless. So that impression is very important for any online class. It looks that professional look and feel is very important. First thing. See, we have been seeing this in and out. We may not feel the importance of that. Once, the moment you see as a new student, that appearance is different. So that feel is the first importance that comes with PracticeNow. The other thing is there are a lot of manual things which used to consume my time, lot of time every day. Like monitoring the attendance, monitoring their fees, checking who is absent, who is present, who is to pay. This is all non-productive work, which easily a software can do for you. Save your time for improving your knowledge and your awareness, your teaching skills. All this is where my time should go. I should not waste my time on attending, updating attendance, forcing fees, this thing, how they prevent. Everything is now done electronically by my practice now. I don't have to worry anything about it. Okay, I just come to the class with my knowledge. I start. If a person who's billing as expert, he may not be able to join because it's locked in the feature. Now he has to automatically make the payment, and there are people on the last 1 minute they make a payment and join the class.
Yes.
So now earlier I used to tell, sir, Mr. X, please renew your this thing. It's already expired. 2 3 classes you have taken already without this one. So please renew. I used to tell messages. I used to send messages. All that is now avoided.
So you
All
hardly have any conversations about money with people.
uh,
Uh, it's
automatically it comes to your bank. You don't have to worry about it.
God.
People pay, people attend, people all this happening in the background without you having to do anything other than teaching. Your mind is on teaching, your practice. That's all. So the software is working flawless. I'm telling you. Okay, so yes, there are improvements which can happen in the coming days, but it's a fantastic software. I'll tell you, which is no specifically suited not only for yoga. It can be taken for any such kind of classes, even let be a tuition, let be a karate class, let be dance class, any class of this nature, personal class, corporate class. All these classes can be managed through Practice Now. So this that confidence I have developed in this product.
Mhm. Thank
The
you.
reason is I'm not telling just like that. I have been experiencing the software for quite a few years now. So I know how it's working. So day by day, we have been evolving with your inputs, your skills, Vaidhi, and your team. Wonderful work from your team. I'm telling you. No, see, nobody asked you to make a chat window there. You have improvised on your own. It's helping us. I mean, so your Telegram channel and your the response that I'm getting from all your team members, flawless. I'm telling you, it's not easy to get that. So with that, it's helping me a lot. All the not only me, all you, I mean, I believe most of your customers are getting that benefit. So I had it's working very well, and the seamless connection. I just come to the laptop at 6 o'clock in the morning. I just click start, and automatically the students are in. There's no need for sending any link, nothing. So everything works. So I think we have come a long way. I mean, Practice Now has come a long way.
Excellent,
Uh,
excellent.
Building that with your own experiences, correcting our own mistakes, evolving, then evolving. So gradually we are coming up to that level. So that's my opinion. It's helping me a lot. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Yeah, if the product is able to help you, actually focus on your teaching, which is obviously what you love doing, and you have not just mentioned it, but also demonstrated it on this,
Yeah.
on this call. We that makes us very delighted, to be able to support you to do what you love. So, thank you very much, Shiva. It has been a really, really nice session for me. I lost track of time completely during this during this interview. I'm very grateful for your time, and hopefully, we might I might want to do another deep dive with you into one. Uh, uh, I'm sure that in any of the areas that you teach, including teachers training or even personal, you must be having your own unique perspective on that, and hopefully, we'll be able to connect again to uh, to get more, to learn more from you. But for now,
Yeah.
thank you very, very much.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Thank you, Vaidhi. It was
Thank you.
nice talking to you. I have registered some of the stories that you told me. I pick up those as learning into my mind. One small piece of input from my side is that whatever we do, uh, all of you, those who are listening to me, you or anybody, is no, let's put our mind in. It's a principle of Bhagavad Gita only. Let us put our mind into that, that process. We will not focus much on the what the how much students I'm getting. What is the yes, it is the back of the mind, but I'm not focusing much on that. So I keep focusing on what I'm doing, how I'm teaching, what are the techniques that I'm trying to do. The more I put my mind on these things, the remaining things all will come to me from the backside. So I don't have to worry about them.
Amazing, amazing.
Sometimes the business may be down, the members may be down. It'll come some other day. Have a lot of patience. Nothing will happen. It's a long journey. I'm not here for a few years. I'm here for the full lifetime. So my teaching will continue till my lifetime. Even if I'm at the age of say 60, 70, 80, I'll teach as
Absolutely.
long as I'm healthy. So let us focus individually, all teachers, let us focus on our work. Like, he's improving his product every day. Every day, his mind is fully on that. What can I do today? What can I do tomorrow? What feature can I bring in next time? His mind is on that. So his mind need not be, it doesn't run behind how many customers are coming to me. Maybe at the back, but his main focus is on his quality what he's going to put in. So as a person, I need to put maximum quality into my work and let everything come in the automatically. This is my piece of advice or whatever you can consider. My
That's very needed and very well said, Shiva. This is one of the harder things I think. Like if it was said in the Bhagavad Gita for a reason. I think this is what human beings struggle with. And I don't think we can say it enough times. So yeah, thank you very much for even helping me even for the rest of my days. It's going to be very useful to keep that in mind. Thank you.
Thank you, Vaidya, for giving me an opportunity to talk to you
It's my
and
pleasure.
convey my thoughts to all the my friends and colleagues. Thanks a lot.
It's my pleasure. My pleasure.